Welcome. This is Faith Between the Lines, and I'm Scott. Today I want to sit with you in a different kind of moment. A kind that doesn't ask for answers or explanations or even strength. Just presence. Just honesty. Sometimes the quiet moments in our lives speak louder than anything else. Not with noise, but with truth, with memory, with the soft reminder that we're still held, still guided, still connected to something bigger than the ache we carry. And maybe today you're feeling a little bit worn. Maybe you're missing someone. Maybe you're trying to understand a season that doesn't make sense yet. If so, you're not alone. You're right where you're supposed to be, and I'm right here with you. So let's slow down together. Let's let the quiet speak. Because in the quiet, remember things we forget when life gets loud. That love doesn't disappear. That the people we miss are closer than we think. That God still whispers in the stillness. That healing doesn't always look like progress. Sometimes it looks like simply showing up. And you showed up today. That matters. As you listen, I want you to picture the person you miss. Not in sadness, but in gratitude, in connection, in the same promise that love continues, not just in memory, but in spirit, in presence, in the way they shaped you and still shape you. You're not walking this road alone. You're walking it with every lesson they gave you, every moment you shared, every piece of love that still lives inside you. And maybe, just maybe, this quiet moment is their way of reaching back. Their way of saying, I'm still here. I'm still with you. Keep going. So today, let the quiet speak. Let it comfort you. Let it remind you that you are held, you're guided, and you're loved more deeply than you know. There are seasons in life when the quiet feels heavier than usual. Not empty, not silent, just full of things we haven't had the courage or the space to face. Sometimes it's the quiet things, the little memories we thought we had tucked away. Sometimes it brings up questions we've been avoiding. Sometimes it brings up a longing we didn't even have the words for. And maybe you felt that lately. A pull at your spirit. A sense that something inside you is shifting. Even if you can't explain it, you're not imagining it. You're not overthinking it. You're not too emotional. You are human. You are alive. And you are listening. And listening is one of the bravest things we can do. Because when life gets loud, we can distract ourselves. We can stay too busy. We can outrun the things that hurt. But in the quiet, in the stillness, in the moments when everything slows down, our heart finally has room to speak. And maybe it's telling you that you're tired. Maybe it's telling you that you've been carrying too much of a load alone. Maybe it's reminding you of someone you miss, someone whose love shaped you, and someone whose absence still aches. Or maybe the quiet is inviting you to heal, to breathe, to just let go of the pressure to have everything figured out. The quiet is not your enemy. It's not a punishment. It's not a sign that you're drifting or failing. The quiet is a doorway, a place where God whispers and things that we can't hear when we're rushed. A place where the soul finally stretches out and says, hey, I'm here. This is what I've been holding. This is what I need. And the beautiful thing is, you don't have to fix anything in this moment. You don't have to solve anything. You don't have to pretend to be strong. You just have to be present. You just have to breathe. You just have to let the quiet speak, because in the quiet, you're not alone. You're not forgotten. You're not abandoned. You're being guided and you're being held. You're being reminded that even in the stillness, God is moving. Love is moving. Healing is moving. And sometimes the most sacred things we can do is simply just listen. I'll tell you something that happened to me not too long ago. There was a morning when I woke up just feeling just unsettled. You know how it can be. Not broken. I really wasn't overwhelmed. I was just off. And just like something inside me was shifting, but I couldn't quite understand what it was trying to say. I tried to move through the morning. I made my coffee. I got up and checked a few things, looked at the bill pile, walked from room to room. Nothing felt anchored. Nothing felt steady. I was starting to get daylight, so I just stepped out onto the porch just for a moment. I have a big deck in the backyard. Not to escape anything, but just to breathe. The air was cool. The kind of morning that just kind of clears your mind. The cold air was just kind of rushing in. As I stood there looking, my eyes landed on a small little tree that's been out in the yard for a couple of years. I've passed by that thing 1,000 times, barely noticing it. But this time, something was different. Most of the branches were completely still, quiet, absolutely motionless. But one little branch, just one, that was moving gently in the breeze. And I remember thinking, why that one? Why not the others? I was looking for a bird or a squirrel or something in it. It wasn't a dramatic move. It was just enough movement to make that one little branch sway, softly and steadily, almost like it was breathing. And the longer I watched it, the more I realized something important. Sometimes the smallest part of us, the first part that feels change, not the strong part, not the part we show the world, not the part that looks put together, but the tender part, the honest part, the part we usually keep quiet. That one little branch reminded me that God often begins his work in places we overlook, the places we think are too fragile, or I'm too wounded, or it's too insignificant. And here's the part that deepened the metaphor for me. The part that didn't misdirect, but clarified. The whole tree wasn't moving yet, but the tree wasn't dead. It wasn't stuck. It wasn't forgotten. It was just responding exactly where it needed to respond first. And maybe that's where you are right now. Maybe there's a small part of you, a memory, a hope, that longing, that quiet ache, that's starting to move again. Not loudly, not dramatically, just gently. Just enough to let you know something inside you is waking up. And that's how healing often begins. And that's not with a full transformation, not with everything changing at once, but with small branch in your life responding to the breeze of God's presence. A reminder that you're not done. You're not stuck. You're not standing still. Even if it feels like you are, something inside you is moving. Something inside you is softening. Something inside you is being guided toward the next step, even if the rest of your life hasn't caught up yet. And maybe today, it's right here. Maybe today, this is your small branch moving in the breeze, letting you know that God is still with you, still speaking, still gently guiding you forward. So after that few minutes of watching that thing, I came in the house and I wrote down this little poem that was fresh in my mind. And I want to share that with you. The name of this poem is The Branch That Learned to Breathe. There's a place inside the quiet where the soul begins to stir, where the smallest part of who we are remembers what we were. A single branch among the stillness moving softly in the air. Not shouting for attention, just whispering, hey, I'm still here. It doesn't shake the whole tree. It doesn't bend the world in two. But it carries just enough of God to remind me what is true. That healing starts in gentle ways, in places we don't see. In the tender parts that tremble first when grace begins to breathe. So I honor every moment, every shift inside my chest, for even the smallest stirring is a sign that I am blessed. And when the quiet wraps around me, I no longer feel alone, for the branch learned to breathe again reminds me I am being grown. As you move through your day today, I want to invite you into a moment of stillness, a moment where nothing is required of you. Nothing is expected. Nothing needs to be solved. Just breathe. Just be here. Just let this space hold you for a little while longer. You've walked through reflection. You've listened to a story that stirred something inside you, maybe. You sat with a poem that spoke to the tender places of my heart. And now, as we step into the closing moment, I want you to feel the quiet settling around you, kind of like a soft blanket. Not heavy, not overwhelming, just present. Just enough, because the truth is, you deserve moments like this. Moments where you're not rushing, you're not performing, you're not carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders, that's for sure. Moments where you can simply exist and let your soul breathe. And maybe today something inside you shifted. Maybe a memory rose to the surface. Maybe a hope that you thought was gone stirred again. Maybe a part of you that seemed silent for so long finally whispered back. If so, honor that. Don't rush it. Don't talk yourself out of it either. Don't minimize it because it feels so small. Just remember that branch. Healing often begins in the smallest places. God often moves first in the quiet corners of our spirit, the places we overlook, the places we underestimate, the places we think are too fragile to matter. But they matter. You matter. Your heart matters. Your journey matters. And as you step forward from this moment, I want you to carry this truth with you. You're not walking this alone. Not in your questions, not in your longing, not in your grief, and not in your hope. There is a presence that walks with you, steady, gentle, and faithful. A presence that knows your story, and he knows every chapter with care. I want to thank you for spending your time with me on Faith Between the Lines. It means something sacred that you show up here, that you let those words meet you where you are, that you allow this space to be the first place of rest and reflection, a quiet renewal. And now as we prepare to part ways for the day, I want to leave you with a little blessing. May peace settle into the places where worry has lived so long. May hope rise softly in the corners of your heart that have grown tired of waiting. May the memories that you choose to love bring warmth instead of ache, connection instead of distance, light instead of shadow. And may you feel God's hand on your shoulder, gently, gently guiding you, patiently, faithfully, one step at a time. And may the quiet moments ahead speak to you in ways that heal and ways that comfort, and in the ways that remind you that you are held, you are seen, and you are deeply, deeply loved. Until next time, may grace follow your steps. May light find your path, and may your spirit rest in the truth that you are being carried.